This demonstration will show how to take this repeating seamless background texture from Photoshop into Illustrator and create vectors. So the first thing we want to do when we're going to create vectors, we want to have a good value range. So on the background here, we're going to add an adjustment layer, and we'll add a levels adjustment layer. And you want to move the black arrow right here down to where it starts going up on the histogram, and the white to the bottom, move that here to the bottom, and it makes sure that you have black blacks and white whites and a good range of values in between. Once that's done, we want to flatten that or merge down. We'll say merge down so that it's one image. We'll do select all, copy, and then we're going to go to Illustrator. In Illustrator, we're going to do File, New, and create a document that's 18 inches wide by 12 inches tall. That matches the size of the seamless repeating texture. Make sure there's not a bleed, and say create and paste. Make sure this is centered on left to right and top to bottom. And then up here in the top, we have image trace. So go to image trace and say OK. This is going to be different for every pattern that you do, but here's the way that I'm going to adjust for this pattern. Up here, I'm going to go to the adjustment panel, or the image trace panel, and I'm going to move the paths all the way to the top. When I do that, that looks pretty good. It's a little, I still would like to see a little bit more information so I don't have like black spots, and so I'm going to lower the threshold just a little bit. There we go, just a touch more. Okay, so see, now I can see through that. So I've got my repeating texture here, and I'm going to click, oh, I want to make sure to ignore white. That makes it so that it's only drawing the black pixels. And then say expand. Now I can close the image trace panel, and I have what I have is this texture. So how do I use it in surface pattern design? So I just want this to be a subtle texture in the background. So I'm going to select anything that's black and go select same fill color. And then in my library, I have a color here that I want to use, and it creates a subtle background. So if I don't want white in the background, if I want a tone in the background, I'm going to select a rectangle tool. I'll click once on the screen and type in 18 by 12, and then center, center, object, arrange, send to back, and then I'm going to change this color just a little bit. I don't want it to be white, but I want it to be light. Say OK. And now I have everything set up for a pattern. The last thing I need to do is I need to do a stroke none, fill none in the back to define the area of my pattern. So I've already got that selected, so I go edit, copy, edit, paste in back, and change this to stroke none, fill none, and I'm ready. So I can make this a pattern. So we'll open our swatches palette. Let's go Window, Swatches. There we go. Open the Swatches palette. Let's check this. I'm going to look down here. Look at this. It's a little tiny bit off. So I'm going to select the black again, and let's go to Properties. And it is just a tiny bit off. Let's change that to 0. Tab 0. Okay, I'm glad I caught that. So check to make sure that your pattern is inside of the bounds. Select all of that now and drag it and drop it on the swatches panel, and it will add a pattern for you. So let's test it. So I just made that smaller. We're going to draw a large box, and we're going to fill it with the new pattern. And there we go. We have a seamless repeating pattern.